Hey guys, welcome to Fishing with Gary Senft. Today we're fishing, but not with a rod and reel. We're up here at Page Springs at the Trout Fish Hatchery, Page Springs Fish Hatchery. And with me I have Cindy Dunn, who's been here with raising trout in the state of Arizona for 23 years. So she runs this place up here, her and a crew.
Yes.
And we're just going to talk about the trout program that we have in Arizona. And behind us here, we have a new species of
Gila trout.
Gila trout. Now, where did you get the eggs for the Gila trout?
We got the eggs from Mora National Fish Hatchery in New Mexico.
In New Mexico?
Yes, and so they shipped the eggs to Sterling Springs Hatchery. He hatched them, and then we brought them down when they were about 3 inches.
Wow, so you actually, all the eggs you get, you hatch right here?
Yeah, at Sterling.
Sterling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, our water's too warm to hatch trout eggs. Yes.
So where is Sterling? At the headwaters?
Yes, at the head of Oak Creek.
Of Oak Creek? Way up in the upper end? I've been there a few times.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the coldest water is. And how cold does that water have to be to hatch eggs?
About in the mid to 40s to mid 50s, so 45 to 55,
That's
and we're
cold.
68 degrees year round.
Oh wow!
So
once the eggs hatch and the babies come here, you can actually have the little baby trout and raise them here.
Yes.
And they'll probably grow at a faster rate.
Yes, they will.
With the warmer water. Wow. So you have Gila trout. What species do you raise at this fish hatchery?
Mainly the rainbow trout, but we also have Gila trout first time this year, and then brown trout we raise every year.
Wow. So that's what you are going to be putting in right now, rainbows probably, and browns.
Yeah.
And like you said, these baby trout are only like 4 or 5 inches long.
Right.
And so you're going to raise them up. When they get to be, what, 8 inches or so?
8
do you
to
stock
9
them?
inches.
Oh,
yes.
then you stock them?
Yes.
So how fast does a trout grow in a raceway like this? How fast does he grow? An inch a month?
An inch a month is pretty good. Yeah, and so we get that, you know, and the other hatcheries gets 0.7, 0.6, because they're in the colder water.
So another question that's really interesting is, do the babies, do you have to have, can you raise these trout from eggs anytime throughout the year as long as the water temperature's the same? You can?
Yes.
So you could hatch, if you had to, you could hatch eggs in June.
Yes.
As long as it was in cold water.
Yes, and we do.
And you do?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys trade or buy or whatever you do to get these eggs from different states, whether it's Montana, New Mexico, or wherever.
Yes, a lot of them are given to us, some of them we buy.
Wow, how neat. And that's how our state runs on fish hatcheries.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
So this Page Springs is a trout hatchery. We have the bubbling ponds, which is they're doing the Florida largemouth. Is there any other hatcheries except for that Sterling Springs up there where you
No,
raise
those are
eggs?
the 3 western regional hatcheries.
They are?
Yes.
Is there one like in Flagstaff or Williams?
And no, there's not.
There's not?
No, there is a commercial hatchery in Oak Creek Canyon, but state there's only those 3.
Where did the trout come from Whitehorse Lake and JD Dam and all those lakes?
They come
Cataract and,
from here.
Oh, so wow.
Yeah.
You have a big operation.
Yes, so we have a summer and winter stocking schedule, and in the winter we do as far as Yuma, down over in Safford, so we go all over, and then in the summer we'll concentrate on Williams, Mogollon Rim, Flagstaff, those areas.
So you raise that many trout?
Yes, yep, we raise about 700,000 catchable rainbow trout a year.
That's a lot of trout.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you know.
So we're on the road a lot.
So I know Jeff goes from fish hatchery to fish hatchery to fish hatchery, and so he'll be at this one day, and you might go to Tano or Canyon Creek or to check on those.
To check on us.
In Arizona, do you remember how many hatcheries we have in Arizona?
We have 6.
We have 6 hatcheries?
Yes, and so we have 5 cold water, and then the 1 warm water that you looked at the bass at Bubbling Ponds.
Okay, so 5 trout and then the Bubbling Ponds,
Yes.
which is the warm water one where we're raising the
Right.
Florida strain large. Some of the hatcheries have trout, like I noticed at Tano, they had the real big trout, like, oh my gosh, they were like 3-4 pounders. 5. Do they still strip those of eggs and breed the fish themselves, or are those just for show?
They're just for show,
Oh,
and
they
then
are?
typically we stock them out. You know, a couple times a year we'll stock them.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Do you have that here?
We do normally, but the otters have cleaned out our show pond. So we're trying to figure that out and get them back in there, because we've been getting a lot of people.
How many otters do you have here?
Well, we've trapped probably about 35 over the last 5 years, and we move them. And so that's just a
35?
Yeah, and we've been tagging them, and they're not coming back, so it's just, they just keep coming.
Well, if you move them far enough down on the Verde or somewhere,
yes, that's
Verde
what
River
we do.
or somewhere, because I'm seeing them in Bartlett Lake.
Oh, yeah,
all
that
the
was
time.
us.
That was you, yeah. But you know what? There's so many bass in there that it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's good.
Because I see them come up with bass in their mouths sometimes.
Yeah.
And I got to see families and I got to see the babies raised and
they
stuff.
are
So
cute little guys.
Yeah, it's neat to watch. But I also saw some that were gigantic.
Oh, yeah.
This big around and I mean huge.
Yes, yeah.
So the Gila trout, how are these different from a rainbow trout? How would they be different?
Like the Apache trout, the Gila trout is native to the state of Arizona, and rainbow trout aren't. But they are closely related because Apaches and rainbows will hybridize, and I'm sure Gila would too. But so we're just trying to put them back in their native watersheds and replace some of our rainbow stockings with Gila stockings and let people catch them recreationally.
Wow. So what do you do with the browns? Because when I was younger, 20, 30 years ago, I used to come here and I would fly fish in the wintertime or fish for browns when nobody was here and it was cold, but there was so many browns left over. But you stocked those too, right? Is that where they come from?
Well, originally they did, but we haven't stocked them in decades. So they're just reproducing in the creek.
Oh my gosh.
But we do stock the browns in certain waters where they're not going to impact native fish.
Okay.
So there's only like Dogtown, Cataract, we stock them there, Rose Canyon, Riggs Flat. So those are the places.
But not in the Oak Creek.
In Oak Creek. And
you
so
don't?
that population is the same one you were fishing for, just generations later.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that's pretty neat. So, well, that about covers all the trout we have here. It's quite an operation. You know, as you can see, all this is fenced in now. Nobody can come in here at night. The cranes, can they get in here at all? Have you ever had any in a building like this?
They can find their way in, and we try to patch holes constantly, but we scare them out, and then we patch a hole and hope they don't get back in.
Oh my gosh, so before they had all this fencing, she said that you lost 30% of your trout because of birds and stuff? Wow.
Yeah, so for the open ponds, but.
So you guys are very, very careful about contamination.
We are, yes.
You know, diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They make us wipe off our cameras, underwater cameras, every time we go from one place to the next trout, and we have to sterilize the camera and stuff.
Yes,
and we talked about that too.
Yeah, there's different diseases at bubbling ponds than there are over here.
Oh my gosh.
So we don't want them to spread between the two. We're careful if we get wet, we don't go over there and get in their water. So they're different.
Very interesting about all this trout. Cold water species trout and warm water species, Florida largemouth. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching Cindy and me talk about trout. We don't normally get to do this, but thanks for watching the show, Fishing with Gary, and we'll see you on the lake next time.